A news crew from BBC Wales is in town tonight researching a story on a Youngstown man once known worldwide who history has forgotten. He's John C. Bonesetter Rees. Bonesetter is nickname because he was a healer of aches and pains, the precursor of the modern-day chiropractor. Journalist Peter Jackson and producer Steve Groves of BBC Wales this afternoon interviewed Bill Lawson of the Mahoning Valley Historical Society on the life of John Bonesetter Rees.
And he was a pretty distinguished looking chap.
Very distinguished looking.
Peter Jackson came upon John Rees while researching famous people from the small town of Romney in South Wales.
And the more inquiries I made, the more I realized that there was a brilliant story to be told.
John Rees came to Youngstown in 1887 and started working in a steel mill. He also worked the bodies of his co-workers to heal their aches and pains.
But he also brought another skill from Wales, which was called bone setting, but it's really manipulating and releasing strains on muscles and tendons.
As word of his healing powers spread, John Rees quit the mill and started seeing patients, picking up the nickname Bonesetter. He bought a house among Youngstown's elite on Park Avenue across from Wick Park and set up shop.
And then his story went nationwide, and he was attracting top athletes in baseball, boxing, jockeys from horse racing, acrobats, dancers, and then Hollywood celebrities, heads of states.
But he also made sure that he had time to treat the mill workers that he used to work alongside. Bear a striking resemblance to Mark Twain. Are you sure this isn't Mark Twain?
Peter Jackson hosts a radio show called Jacko's Sporting Almanac. And an angle Jackson thought most appealing was that Bonesetter Rees worked on some of the great baseball players of the time, Ty Cobb, Rogers Hornsby, and Honus Wagner.
And to think that he has left an indelible mark on America's greatest national pastime, baseball, is a phenomenal story.
Bonesetter Rees was so famous that when he died in 1931, the story was banner headlines in both Youngstown newspapers, the Vindicator and the Telegram, and it also made the New York Times.
The story of this sort of Welsh steelworker who came to America, ended up making a fortune, but also became an international celebrity in his own right.
Now, the crew also stopped by Bonesetter Rees's house on Park Avenue, right across from Wick Park, and the Welsh Congregational Church on Elm Street, which Rees attended. From here, they're headed to Michigan to interview Bonesetter Rees's great-grandson. They plan to air the piece later on this summer.